Nintendo, Nintendo, Nintendo. Why you do this? Hey, what's up guys, it's your friendly neighborhood twat and a Sonic hat, Calamity. And today we need to talk about the hashtag free Smash, or free Melee, as it was known previously. And man, you guys have been asking me to talk about this, because this is still trending. And that's pretty damn impressive, at least at the time of recording. By now, you guys know the story. Nintendo shut down a major competition that was going to be featuring a Melee tournament because of its use of the mod Slippy, which enables rollback netcode to be used when playing Melee online, which basically gives an offline experience whilst playing online. Something the Smash community has been asking for a very, very long time, and God knows Ultimate needs to fix its god-awful servers. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Nintendo. Now, before I get started, I just want to say, please don't hate me, Daddy Nintendo. But I'm going to be brutally honest on my thoughts here because you guys have asked me to be, so let's talk about it. Nintendo are completely within their right to do what they've done, because it is a modification of their game, and they are within their legal rights to ask what they have asked. However, having the right to do something does not mean that that is the right thing to do. Now, let's be clear, Nintendo are not selling Melee. They're not producing the game anymore. You can't just go down to your local GameStop or whatever and buy it. It's an old game for an old console, and therefore emulation is legal. They are allowed to emulate it. People are allowed to emulate it to the point that they have so far. And emulation is perfectly legal. People are allowed to emulate the game. It is not being sold. It hasn't been sold in over 10 years. That's fine. That's not the issue here. The issue is the Slippy mod, because mods are different. And Nintendo just seem to want to shut down the community. And no, I'm not some conspiracy theorist. We've all seen the twit longer. You know, you've read it. You know the deal. It has been kind of revealed that Nintendo have repeatedly put in roadblocks and stopped Smash being an esport. Now, we've kind of known about this for a while. Let's not lie about this. We know that Nintendo have been doing this. They don't put nearly any money into the competitive scene at all. And you get people like MK Layer, right, who has been playing competitive Smash to support his family, and Zero did the same thing. And neither of them won a singular tournament and were made for life after that. It doesn't work that way with Smash. They keep going and going and going, and they kept earning through it, and that was how they were able to pay the bills. Whereas if you look at games like Fortnite, although a much bigger game in comparison, $1 million for the prize, it's crazy. It might have been more than $1 million. I'm not even sure at this point, but I'm pretty sure other games at Evo pay out more as well. And talking of Evo, isn't it just hilarious how Smash was dropped from Evo this year because of Nintendo's terrible online servers? And yet Nintendo are shutting down one of their games being used on rollback netcode, which means it's not crappy servers, it's good optimal gameplay that can be played online as a competitive fighting game. You guys are just... Daddy Nintendo, I love you, but this ain't the way. So what are my thoughts on it? Well, it's bad. People in this pandemic cannot see each other. Real life Smash tournaments shouldn't really be happening. I know that a few are, but they shouldn't really be happening, and people can't go to them. So therefore, people want to play online. That is how things are being done. That's how all the tournament circuits are being run. It's all online. And Nintendo refuse. And I'm just saying this now because we have to think that Smash came out 2017, 2018. Nintendo just refused to do something about this. They don't care about fixing their servers and improving the online experience for people. They just don't care. They would rather try and get money out of people for Mii costumes and new fighters. And don't get me wrong, it's great. I love the addition of new Mii costumes and new fighters in the Fighters Pass. But there's no focus on fixing the issue as it currently stands. And I'm quite appalled, to be honest. What, $7.99 a month I pay? Sorry, a year I pay. It's nothing, but for what I receive out of this online service, you're robbing me, guys. You're robbing me blind. Shutting down a mod that allows the gameplay that people have been asking for so long, when Nintendo themselves have no intention of improving their internet services, it says a lot. And, you know, now that we have heard much more information about how Nintendo have tried to shut down the competitive scene, and we know it's a thing now, it's just concerning. And it's quite funny because this is a comparison that's often made, but, you know, Nintendo came out on top between Nintendo and Sega, the great console war of the 90s. In the end, Nintendo won. Sega stopped producing consoles, and bang. But Nintendo have this habit of shutting down people that make fan projects, whether it be Pokemon hacks or whatever, fan games, things of that nature. They shut it down. They don't stand for it. And Sega bring those people on to do their ports to mobile, and then just say, oh, here you go, here's a budget, go and build a whole new 2D Sonic game, and it becomes the most critically acclaimed Sonic game in 15 years. Do you see what I'm talking about here, Nintendo? I'm not saying that you need to take a leaf out of Sega's book, but it also take a leaf out of Sega's book. I think it's a really deplorable decision, and I think the community has really come together again on this, and I think that's a really good thing. And much like previously when a prize pool was raised, a decent prize pool was raised for a Smash tournament, I forget which one it was exactly, once it was announced it would be donated to charity, Nintendo couldn't do anything about it. They couldn't be seen to not be giving money to charity, so they backed down. And that was because of the community constantly tweeting at them, constantly going at them, and you know, it's great, and that's how your voice affects these things. I've seen a lot of people on Facebook saying, oh, yeah, go make your own game if you don't like it. Like, guys, seriously, if you do not voice your concerns and your issues with a company about their product, how do you ever expect change? Now, granted, there are companies out there that will pretend they're listening to you, and they will still try and sell you shit. It's a common thing. It's a way of life. It's business at the end of the day. It's not good business. I don't like it, but it's the way that some people do things. But if you let Nintendo know how you feel about this situation, they are more likely to do something about it. And that's why I think it's so great that this hashtag has continued for so many days since the announcement. It's great to see the community getting behind something again, particularly seeing as how split and divided and, well, quite frankly, toxic this fan base can be. It's nice to see us coming together over something. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. I'd really like to hear your thoughts on the matter. Slap a like on it if you could. I'd really appreciate that. And hit the subscribe button. I do Smash streams almost every night. I try and be consistent. It is always an open arena for you guys to join, but the arenas fill up in about 60 seconds, so you're going to want to hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell so you know the second that we go live. I don't claim to be an amazing Smash player. You may even call me a bad Smash player, but I've got some pretty beastly people that constantly turn up in my arenas, so you may want to get some practice in before you get 3-stocked by Benny's Steve, TJ's Hero, or perhaps Moken's Kirby. Thank you for checking this video out. I really do appreciate it. And as I said, please do leave a comment because I'm really interested to hear what people's thoughts are on this matter. Keep it locked in to calamityhatcher because that is what it takes to be infinite. I'll see you guys very soon. Lots of love. Bye.